Been good. Yeah, we can do a little bit of this in the meantime. Okay. That's about it. Yeah, that should be about it. I think we're live. Yeah. So yeah, what do we got for today? Today we have Halloween Mami Pulse. We have Score Attack, which usually goes by rather quickly because if you have the correct characters, it usually goes rather simple. And then we have Chaos Bosses. So there's 3 new Chaos Bosses. No idea what any of them do, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Is the chat actually working? Hold up. Hold up. I did change some settings recently. I wonder if that changed some stuff. What is this? Did I actually mess up my settings? Hold up. I hope I didn't. Your current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Nah. That shouldn't be a problem, right? Oh god, it might be. I can increase it a little. Let's see. Yeah, no, the output should be higher. Huh? Be much higher. Yeah, no, the output should be high enough. I don't know. But yeah, how you doing, everyone? We're currently doing some crystals farming just to wait a little bit for people to show up. And then we'll see if we get lucky. Hopefully we do. Yeah, how are you doing, everyone? Yeah, welcome to stream, Sony and Momotama. How is it doing? Yeah, she actually said a similar voice line to the one that Malcolm says, although they're quite different characters. To go again with 60k gems, my banner, but this time only A0 from Pity. Ooh. Maybe Mami was not the correct banner then. Like if I was free to play, by the way, I probably would have skipped almost every banner in the game so far, to be fair. I'm certain that today I'm going to get very lucky and I'm not going to have to worry about anything. I'm probably going to get her in the first 1 or 2 rolls, no worries. 5 copies in the first temple. Let's start with 4, okay? Okay, I think it's about time we can get started. It's been like 2 minutes. That's long enough for people to join. You don't need more time than that. So, Halloween Mummy. Why is this even a thing? That's a good question. Here it is. By the way, you can check all of the statistics here. So the first ascension is actually kind of interesting, kind of important, I would say. The other ones, I don't know, like A2, it sounds kind of weak. Like really weak. Special attack, I don't know. I guess it's kind of important. And the A4, yeah, it's good. Like like the essentials aren't bad, but I would definitely say it's not the kind of character who, as a limited, I would go out and immediately go and get these. Didn't notice them because they're paid only. They're in the web shop. You can only get the keys for special keys from the web shop. Do you think Halloween Mami A0 compared to Ren and Nemo A0? Well, it's hard to say. Personally, I would still pick Ren, because Ren just does a lot more things. Like Mami does like one thing only, which is single target damage amplification. And I guess she also does damage over time stuff, but she's not good enough yet. Or generally, there's not enough good damage over time characters to like really make that a playstyle. In the future, maybe. Right now, you're investing into something that may not actually pay off if you're getting her for damage over time stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not that sold on her because she's very one-dimensional in more ways than one. I feel like they make Gnostic kind of little. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into this character. That's definitely true. But yeah, I think it's about time. So, in case you guys don't know this, if you go to the online web shop and you pay real money, you can, on top of your gems, also get keys. So there's 3 key bundles that you can get, but only in the web shop, which is an interesting way of doing paid bonuses. They're still, like, it's been half a year and they're still experimenting with different ways of giving you bonuses for spending money here and there. I think they should just give you cosmetics, like paid cosmetics. I think that would be a way of getting more money out of people while still giving people something for the money, of course. Okay, we got one, by the way. That's already, we already got it getting one. Because I saw AQ, and you see AQ, you know you got one. Okay. And is it already never punished? Never punished for anything. Spending on this banner, never punished. Never punished. It always just works. It just works. Wow. Oh my god, look at that. Fucking Majora's Mask reference. Wow. It really is that simple. But guess what? The thing is, I can't stop rolling now. Not because I have to roll more, but rather because I paid for these keys. And the keys are only for this banner, right? At least I think they're only for this banner. So I think we have to keep going. Actually, are they only for this banner? Or could they also be for the Aina banner? Let me actually check. You can probably check in your inventory list. Yep, no, specifically for the Mami Tomoe featured trade weave. So we gotta also roll these. Like, we can't stop, right? Because we still have 2 keys. So maybe we can get A1. I did say that A1 is kind of important. Oh, different camera angle. This could also be one. Yep, different camera angle means we got one. So yeah, pretty good. So I think I might have peaked the microphone a bunch there. I'm sorry if that happened. Okay, what do we got? I think that's an A5? Oh, that's coins. Perfect. Okay, this one's nothing. At least one of them was nothing, so it's okay. It's okay. We could do 2 more to get the 50 key, but I don't really need many or any characters from the standard Fate Weave right now, or in the near future. So I think I'm okay with this. Not to mention, I need these for Alina, right? They need to go and arrive for Alina. So we can't use them yet. But now we have another limited character, and we still have, to this point, every single character in the game. So if you check my Chamber of Light, we have every single character. Nice. And that's my main goal, by the way. The goal of this account is to have every character, not because I'm a collector, because usually I'm not a collector. I was not a collector in my record at all. I only had like half the characters. The point is, now that I make so many videos about reviewing characters, I gotta have these characters so I can actually test them out for the review, right? So you see every character, nice. So I can once again make a review that actually makes sense and doesn't lie about stuff. Not that other people would, but you know.
私がお菓子ずはま私がちまみえベベはチーズたしみそのさ今度はマカロンみそのさんのおかげでみんなに私とベベのことを分かってもらえたわ。
It's Karen, by the way. You're just talking about Karen.
今度は私たちがみそのさんを助ける番。さあ、行くわよベベ。私たちも一緒にあの頃の楽しいハロウィンを取り戻しに行きましょう。
Okay, I think she was talking about how Karen helped her understand Bebe or Charlotte more. I'm not quite sure if I can call all that. And that now it's her, like Mami's turn to actually be the one to help Karin out as a thanks, so that they can have a great Halloween together or something like that. I don't know if I caught everything, but that's basically what she was saying there. I'm still learning, so I can't give any guarantees yet to what I'm saying is correct, but that's what I got from that. You expend a part of Miyagi Maker Stones for kill a banner of Bohomura, actually 40k and A4. Bohomura is really good. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna be sad having a ascended Bohomura. Like, that character is gonna carry you for a really long time. By the way, in case people don't know yet, if you have streamer mode on, you cannot select any of the copyrighted music in here either, which is almost all of them, as you can see. Yeah, I gotta click here to get the red orbs away. Good. Now let's take a look at our new fantastic character. We see about Mario and realize how ridiculously easy the game becomes with her. Yep, Mario is one of the best characters in the entire game by a lot. Okay, what do we have? Let me just take a look. She's down here. Okay, Holy Mummy is up there. For some reason, all the other mummies are down here. I think it has to do with internal like IDs or something. I don't know why IDs nuts are different with Holy Mummy being at the front of everything. Because Madoka is also up here, and not with the other Madokas. But all the Homodas are together, for example. I don't know why it's like that. But yeah, let's take a look. Also got A4 and 2. Oh, perfect. You're set for life. Okay, we gotta go all the way to 110 as we usually do. Or 120? I guess 120 is fine. Let's go 120. Okay, get this to 4. Perfect. So let's see what actually upgrades from special. It's the damage taken, the curse. The curse upgrading I don't think is that big of a deal, because I think most of the curses that you're gonna make use of and that you're gonna explode are gonna be the curse from your passive. And that one is, of course, gonna be max level. So the fact that the curse from the special does a little bit less damage, it's only like a tiny bit, doesn't really matter much. But yeah, the damage taken going up, of course, makes higher ascensions more lucrative to have, as well as, of course, Ascension 4, increasing it. But apart from Ascension 4, the only other Ascension that's really important is like Ascension 1. But it only like increases the duration of stuff, which matters only insofar as if you're not using the skill every turn to make sure that the Caniholic debuff doesn't run out. And secondly, only if you're playing an actual team where you're playing with Mami being a damage dealer with her curse, only then does it actually matter, because one extra turn on curse also means that if the curse gets exploded, it of course does more damage, right? But if you're not playing a damage over time focused team, then I guess the extra bit of damage on the curse also doesn't matter that much. So yeah, that is that at least. I'm gonna have to worry about making a score attack team with this now. I'm not quite sure about what the score attack even does. Speaking about score attack, let's actually go and do score attack. I heard that, yeah, it's basically damage over time centric. Not that damage over time is like generally good right now in the game, but it's a boss that, you know, is countered by having damage over time stuff, because it, like, has special mechanics that say use damage over time, good stuff happens. Something like that. Ooh, music. Ooh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is that music I hear? Jesus. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're getting jiggy with it today. And look at that, by the way. 100% wound, 100% vortex. They know, the developers know, that if they didn't do this, if they didn't do both wound and vortex 100%, that no one would be using Mami other than Wales. Like, Wales would still be using her for single target damage amplification, but outside of Wales, no one would be using Halloween Mami if they didn't do both wound and vortex 100%. They had to do that. It was required. Or otherwise no one would have used Mami. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that they had to do that, but yeah, they had to do that. So instead you can use Poison, you can use Curse, which by the way also you can use Mifuyu on this, which is perfect. And of course Burn you can use, so those are the ones you can use. Nice. Once damage taken will increase and breakage depletion resistance will decrease each time ongoing damage is taken, so yeah, explode ongoing damage. Also, once again, if you could use Swimsuit Mami here, would be absolutely overpowered. Like, Swimsuit Mami would be, Swimsuit Sayaka would be overpowered on this boss with Vortex, because Vortex is like ticks of ongoing damage like all the time. Bam, 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 ongoing damage, ongoing damage, ongoing damage. Like, it happens so often that you don't need to worry about anything. So they had to give 100% Vortex resistance here. This effect can be officially increased when multiple types of ongoing damage are dealt, which is not usually the case. So try to pick as many types of ailments as possible. So here's the thing about this sort of idea. This was also something in Tower. In Tower, there's a boss that says that it gains a stack of a buff, and it gains less stacks each time it takes ongoing damage. So you would think that you could just apply like both Curse and Poison and Burn, right? And then you would have three types of ailments that would all like reduce the amount of stacks the boss is getting. But that Tower boss does not work like that. That Tower boss does not work like that. It only counts like one ailment per turn. But what this is saying is that it might be different for this boss. Like, this boss might actually, if you hit it with both Poison and Curse and Burn or whatever, might actually take 3 instances that all count independently towards the gimmick, is at least what this is saying. So let's see what we're gonna do. So, score attack. We're gonna put in... We could put in Mifuyu because it's dark. And it would make sense. And the thing is, if you don't... By the way, right now I can tell you already. If you don't have Halloween Mami, but you have Mifuyu, use Mifuyu. Mifuyu applies a curse. So with Mifuyu you already have Curse, and she's a single target breaker, right? So already you have a single target breaker that is on element that applies Curse. Like, Mifuyu is a shoe-in for this battle. That said, I already have Curse through someone else, so she's not like hard required if you already have someone else to Curse anyway. So with Holy Mami, I guess it's not as important. But still, Mifuyu is great here. That said, also keep in mind that Mifuyu doesn't work as well if you don't have other characters that are crit focused. So it would be great if we had someone who's crit focused, someone else. But for now, we need to worry about more damage over time. That means we got Nemu in there, more damage over time. For sustain, I think I want to lean more into crit. Right? Because I think with Mifuyu, who wants crits, and generally score attack, gotta increase our damage, crit sounds pretty nice. So I think this is pretty good. I don't think there's a sustain that gives us damage over time anyway. So I think Ida is the best choice here for helping me for you and for helping with damage. What else do we need? We need a damage dealer. What type are we looking at? Fire, forest, dark. Here's the thing. Because Alina is about to come out and she's a fire attacker, I assume that Alina will be a burn character, that she will have burn as part of her kit, and maybe increase amount of damage dealt if the enemy is suffering from ailments or something like that, right? Because also, keep in mind, Alina in Magia Record had a passive that made her deal more damage to enemies who were afflicted with ailments. Something she doesn't have in Etc. At least like her regular Alina version. So I'm very much banking, because Alina is known for increasing damage against targets with ailments in Magia Record, I'm banking on now this new Alina increasing damage to targets with ailments. So I believe that she would actually be the attacker that goes in this slot. Would be my guess, right? Is my guess. We don't have that though, right now though, because we would need to wait a week for this to happen, and I can't travel into the future right now, so instead we're gonna have to figure out what else to do here. So forest means technically we could do this, but let's not kid ourselves. Of course we're using Homoda. Like, everyone knows this is gonna happen, but theoretically I guess you could also use this. Or a Kyoko, but my Kyoko, even though she's A5, I don't think I've built her well enough. I mean, if we take a look at this Kyoko, let's see if she's actually built. She has 119, she has Ascension 5, she has a full Crystallis setup with everything, and her special is only level 7, okay? It's not good enough, right? We're just gonna pick this. Now, Nemu might be overkill, because we already have Curse, but I guess it's better to have her still, and we're just gonna go with this. The music jump scare when you open it, yep. That is not something that happens very often. It hit Ren only for this boss, don't worry. Like, they specifically had to give this boss 100% boot resistance, otherwise everyone would have picked Ren over Halloween Mummy. That would have been sad. You hoping that Alina comes in about a week will be broken? Yeah, so like I said, I think Alina is going to be someone who benefits from enemies having ailments on her, and that's kind of her gimmick, that she increases damage against ailment targets, right? Double stack weaken with regular Alina. She doesn't need to double stack it, but if she just generally does damage increase to ailments, like the more ailments there are, the more damage you deal, then she would synergize with herself. Well enough. So Violet, what did you miss? We got Halloween Mummy on our first 10 roll, because of course we did, right? Sadly we didn't get more than one. We only got one on our first 10 roll, and then we stopped rolling after 3 because we had the 3 10 keys. And once again, in case you guys don't know this, there are 3 10 keys that you can get, so 3 times 10 rolls that you can get specifically for the Mummy banner, but it's in the page shop in the web shop. So in the web shop you can get 3 10 keys specifically for Mummy, which is what I did, and that gives you this. By the way, in case you're wondering, like, for the price, you don't buy the keys themselves, you get them additionally to buying a bunch of gems, so they're a bonus, right? You don't buy them directly. Holy Aina might come at Christmas, but the thing is, at this point, I know that's the case. And then Holy Aina could be a forest, an unlimited forest attacker that also benefits from enemies having ailments. And then we're fucking perfect, right? And then Nemu can be on there as well. Oh man, that's gonna be great. But yeah, that's basically what's happened. Let's take a look. I think we're gonna commit to crit. We're not gonna have 100% crit rate. We won't have 100% crit rate. It's okay. But we're gonna have, how much we're gonna have? We have 20% from this, we have 15% from here, that's 35. We have another 15% from here, that's another 50%. So we have 60% from her, and then we have, I don't know about her Crystallis, they're not all the way there yet. So 60% plus 1.5, oh my god. It's not that much. We don't even have like 70% crit rate, but it's a decent amount. But we can roll the dice on getting that crit, at least. It's worth it. Okay, what else do we have? The attack, I don't think it's going to be that useful. She doesn't have to deal damage. MP recovery rate. I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about damage, would be my guess. Right? I think this is okay. No, Mifuyu can have MP recovery. She doesn't need to be fast. She doesn't need to have any speed at all. And you can have speed. And that speed. Okay. Yeah, no, this looks fine. Boss lowers buff effects? That's good, because I don't have many buffs. Yeah, so I guess our crits are not gonna be as effective then. It should only be, wait, it should only be the effects of like active buffs, right? So passive buffs, like the 15% from this, should still be effective, right? Like, I don't think it would have an effect on passive buffs like this. Right? I actually don't know how that works. That's a good question. Someone do the maths if it applies to passive buffs too. And yeah, streamer luck is indeed real. Okay, debuffs are gonna be on the enemy, but you know, that's good. Oh, I like the speed. And the MP recovery rate. What do we have here? Ongoing damage sounds nice. Yeah, no, let's go with this one. I still hope that debuffs aren't too weak then, because we still want some crit rate from this and some attack. Like, the thing is, otherwise, what support do we even use? Like, what sustain? Unless we use another buffer. Like, what if we just use the Mami, for example? No, let's just go with this. Let's just go with this and see what happens, okay? Let's not do anything silly where we haven't even tried the boss yet. I guess just try the boss first. Wait a second. I don't think they're all at full level. We have Sakurako support. Sakura's getting added to the standard banner in tomorrow. And there's going to be a 24-hour free roll, of course, free 10 rolls. So it's possible, if you get really lucky, that you just get Sakura tomorrow from the free rolls. Or if you roll right now on the Halloween Mami banner, the Halloween Mami banner, of course, already has Sakurako in it and Ui, of course. So theoretically, they're already here. By the way, we're out of orbs, because of course we are. So don't worry, William Panda, you're gonna have Sakurako support very soon. Why is my party this low in team power? Did I miss something? 69,000 seems really low. Oh, these guys... Oh yeah, all these guys have low ascensions, that's why. Like, Homer's the only one with high ascensions in this team. Everyone else doesn't have high ascensions. I don't have a single healer that has more than like 2 ascensions, by the way. I have every single attacker at like ascension 5. No healers at high ascensions. It's just, like, I just don't have them. Okay, here we go. Charlotte, who is literally a witch in more ways than one. I had auto battle on. I want the buff. This boss is pretty easy. I sure hope so. Okay, let's read. Grants 2 actions when ongoing damage attacking myself, increases damage taken based on number of ongoing damage type. Okay, so it specifically mentions here, it's not just it can only go down once a turn or once per tick, but rather it specifically checks how many different types of ongoing damage you have, and according to that reduces the stack counter. Okay. Increases damage taken and increases break speed. Okay. Greatly decreases buff effects used by all enemies. First off, we don't know by how much, and secondly, like I said earlier, we don't know if that applies to passives, but I assume it doesn't apply to passives, right? Increases attack with each passing turn, okay. Increases of low HP, that's regular for Charlotte, I think. And then off element gets punished, but that's okay. Removes all ailments and gets aiming 3 times. It's just trying to counteract your counteracting. Counter the counter. This is the same type of effect the whole play. Okay. We don't have buff removal. We could choose Tsukasa, actually, who is off element but might still be useful. Okay, I'm gonna check how much damage the boss does. If the boss does not do high damage, this Iroha is getting kicked out for Tsukasa. Bonk. Nice, we have 2 already. That's not high damage. That is not high damage at all. And by the way, if you use Mifuyu together with your Mami, that means Mami does not have to actually worry about applying curse herself, because Mifuyu already applies curse, right? You always have it.
そこ
Okay, we can pop here. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pop. Okay, now let me think about this. Of course, this pops all ailments. But when all ailments get popped, the poison gets reapplied. Then the enemy has Candyholic on it, right? The enemy has Candyholic on it. Which means that we need to get curse back onto the enemy. How can we get curse back onto the enemy? Well, we have Mifuyu on one hand, who does it with skill, right? Wait, yeah, it comes chance to curse, and with special, so those two are ways of getting curse back on the enemy, right? And then on top of that, we have Mami, who says, where is it? On attack on Candyholic enemy, chance to curse. Now, does this mean Mami's attacks? Or does that mean any attack? Because if it means any attack, it will immediately be cursed again. Let's see. Okay, it's not any attack. It has to be any of Halloween Mami's attacks. So yeah, that is how easy it is to get all this stuff back. Because now Mifuyu doesn't even need to apply curse because this is curse.
美味しいお菓子を召し上がれ
The other thing right here is the damage taken. I think we need to refresh the damage taken because the boss is about to take a turn. And it only lasts for one turn otherwise. Ouch.
全く問題ない
Yeah, you can see that the buffs don't last for very long, sadly.
おやつの時間よさあ起きてお利口さんベベオランタン残さず食べてね
Damn, scary.
問題ないえいまだいけますよ
I think we need to refresh our debuff here because it's run out.
邪魔者は排除する
There's so many debuffs I can't even look at which comes from which. Wait a minute. This is... That's not that. So the actual... This is defense. Where's the damage increase coming from? Was that from this? Or was that from this? I think the damage increase was from this. I don't actually know which of my debuffs come from which. Like, if you look at this debuff bar, can you tell me which debuff comes from which, like, within half a second? Because I fucking can't. Because all of this stuff has the same... Like, there's two of the same right here. I don't know which of these is which. I don't know which of these curses comes from which character. Like, if one of these curses was flashing right now, could you tell me which curse was about to run out? Because I can't tell you which of the curses is gonna run out first. I know Candyholic is about to run out, that's about it. You're 100% kicking Double Iroha out of this. I'm sorry, Double Iroha, you have to go. you don't do enough for this team. Dong. Okay, get rid of the... so, pop this. Bonk. Get this back. Bonk. I think we need to fresh debuffs here. No, we don't. We're good. We're good on debuffs. The boss is about to break, right? No, actually we're not breaking the boss. Okay, we do need to refresh because we're not breaking the boss here. So we need to refresh Candyholic. The boss type unit Hana is very good here. Homo needs to be set up here. I think it's okay to break here. And there we go. Yeah, we're definitely kicking this Iroha out of this. Yeah, this is not helping. You can refresh the buff for Homu, but eh. That is not a lot. Come on, we can do way better than this. Did we even crit? I didn't even check if we crit. I don't think we crit. We got unlucky. Bonk. Bonk.
美味しいお菓子を召し上がれ。
Okay, we just need to attack to get curse back on, by the way. It's that simple.
全く問題ない。
So are we now missing any debuff on the boss? I couldn't tell you. Can you look at this and tell me if I'm missing a debuff? I know I need to get curse back on. Oh, we already have curse. Curse doesn't even show up anymore? Curse literally doesn't show in this bar. Because I think it's too big. Right? Does it even what? Curse is not showing.
ここが修羅場。お願い。続けていくわ。
Okay, bonus turn.
私が相手をすにがさ
Get the buff.
まだいけますよ。
Do we need to do this? I think the crit debuff isn't on. I think the crit debuff fell off. Yeah, I think the crit debuff fell off. We need to get the crit debuff back on.
今が後期。邪魔者は排除する。
Okay, I need you to crit. It's like you have like a 50% chance to crit. This one needs to crit. Oh, come on, what's like 50% chance? You can't just miss a 50% chance. You're gonna have to go for another one then.
どうかな。美味しいお菓子をそこ。みんなを守りゃ。この調子で頑張ろう。もう少しだけ。助かりました。
Sweet tooth instead? Ooh. Put Tsuna in. Off element? But... yeah, might work.
ここが修羅場。
I could also use Tsukasa because the boss has a debuff, but I guess the buff doesn't matter that much.
まだ続くよ。美味しいお菓子を召し上がれ。はいはどうかしら。私はまだいけま。今が後期。
Okay, the boss is out of shields. The boss is out of perspectives. The boss is about to be out of life.
全く問題。
I could also use Mabubu. They would all work, like all of those would work.
みんなを守ります。みんなを守ります。
You just said that.
今が後期。
Yeah, I think it's okay if the boss has these buffs on it. You don't have to worry about doing that.
拍子抜けしたよ。ここが修羅場。私があいつそこ。この調子で頑張ろう。
Yeah.
お願い。
Wait, double Iroha sounds a lot more tired than regular Iroha, which is good. Because we don't like Iroha. Okay, I'm certain now. The reason why the curse from Candy Holic doesn't show here is because it actually is considered a passive effect. Because it originates from Mami's passive. Right? The curse cuts through here. And because the curse originates from a passive, it is considered a passive effect. And passive effects don't show up in the buff and debuff overview. On top of that, passive effects cannot be cleansed. 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 Cannot be cleansed.
みんなを守ります。今が後期。
By the way, again, that's Margareko stuff. If you haven't been playing since Margareko, then you probably don't know, but that's understandable.
はいはどうかしら。全くどうかな。
The boss currently has a defense up, but it's not like we can delay for like until that's gone. In fact, it's never gone effect. I think it's a permanent effect.
この調子で頑張ろう。もう少しだけ。助かりました。
Wait a minute, but if so, it can't be cleansed, but it still gets consumed by debuff pops.
まだいけますよ。それ。
Like debuff pops still pop it. Okay, Homura, you have like a 50% chance. You missed it last time, but this time, 50% chance. Come on, just hit it. Good. You can still do way better than this.
逃がさない。キャンディーはいかが？
Your hate is not acceptable. Ooh.
全く問題ない。
You weren't here when Margareko released
ま
them.
だいけますよ。いや。続けていくわ。私逃がさない。
Nice.
調子で。美味しいお菓子を召し上がれ。
So the thing is, I don't know if Tsuruno makes sense actually, because the boss reduces buff effects by so much that it might actually be better to actually go and put Tsukasa on here. I actually want to check. Is the buff effect like lowering so powerful that people are not playing a buffer? People are still playing Mabubu. And Oi, people are still using 2 buffers. Despite the enemy saying, oh, reduces buff effects by so much. Ooh. Yeah, apparently not strong enough. Apparently really not strong enough. Yeah, we're also gonna pick Mabubu. Also, I think we're gonna take Mifi out because the boss does so little damage we don't need to worry about breaking fast. It's like, even if we break a bit slower, we're not gonna die. How am I so lucky with pulse? Well, it's all skill. Only watch the anime and your theory video about the lighthouse. So the thing about Iroha is that she's kind of a Mary Sue in the manga record, because she always succeeds at everything. Everyone likes her. She never is in the wrong about anything. She's always this paragon of virtue and moral goodness who encounters enemies that have seen some shit and that are in some deep shit, that have like a lot of problems, and what she does is she just tells them like, you just need to do what's right. And magically that solves all issues. Like, oh no, like everyone I love is dead and I'm really weak and I'm about to die to a witch. But Ito has kind of come in and say, just be yourself and believe in yourself. And apparently that somehow like fixes everything and all problems are now solved forever. It's like really, it's almost a parody of Madoka Magica. She basically does the Naruto therapy all the goddamn time. And it's like comical. Just how many Mary Sue aspects she has, but I know that if you called her a Mary Sue openly, people would riot. And to be fair, I also wouldn't call her a Mary Sue. Like, I think that just isn't helpful to do that. But I will say that even though I'm not calling her a Mary Sue, she has a lot of those fucking qualities, and they come across really strongly in Mag Record Arc 1. And I'm not a fan of that at all. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents though. What do we do? So we're gonna pick... I guess we can just do the same. We're gonna put in Mabubu. She's only A3, she's not A4. Oh no. Good enough. We're missing crit rate now, if we do that. An A5 Tsuruno might actually still be better for dealing more damage than that. I do actually think so. Iroha, I'm talking about Iroha. Yeah, she's the embodiment of using the power of friendship. In, you know, the Madoka Magica universe. Oh. Our producer ain't got nothing on extra action. Well, the thing is, it's not about how much damage you can do in like a given amount of time. It's more so about a single hit. You want one single hit that's as powerful as possible. So extra actions don't really matter much with that. We could put Mabubu over Uya, actually. Yeah, let's do that. I guess we don't care too much about all of this stuff. Like, you can have this. Whatever. A lot of EX, yeah, I've got basically a crystalist set up for every character that in the game. What else do we have? And then you can take this, I guess. None of these are very helpful. Like, at all? None of these are very helpful. Jesus. Yeah, whatever. Sure. Okay. Let's go with this. Is this good enough? Yeah, whatever. You're gonna be fine. It's gonna work out. Let's see what happens. So we are gonna take a bunch more damage also because we have off-element characters now. Who needs a double turn even? That's a good question. Who even needs a double turn? I guess Mami says she can immediately actually apply the curse. And she applies the curse immediately. I didn't actually check that. I guess we apply the curse? I guess it doesn't matter. So does this immediately apply a curse? It does. Okay, that's good. So I wasn't sure about the ordering of this. Like if you had to attack another time to actually apply curse. But the attack that applies Candyholic also immediately applies the curse, which is really good. Even on the current attack can no longer evangelize anyone. So at least we don't have to worry about that anymore. Hope so. So off-element characters now got a speed down. I think the best thing we could do is doing this and then have Homoda use a bunch of skills. So because she has Sakura Ko passive, which means that she gets bonus crit damage whenever she uses her skill. So I kind of want that. But oh yeah, that characters also need a bunch of stuff. Oh, you know that's gonna become really important again. There's like no way that she doesn't. So does this count as 3s, by the way, if 2 of them are a curse? Probably not, right? So it only counts as... Okay, that only counts as 2. So having 2 curses doesn't count as 2 curses, it counts still as just 1 curse. Okay, get some stacks. Now when I say get some stacks, I mean get some stacks. We're not breaking very fast, by the way, which may be an issue because Mabio is taking some damage. Although we are breaking faster and faster the more damage over time pops we have. So I guess I should have given double turns to Nemo instead, so she can pop more often. Iruan's current state can't interact with anyone. Yeah, there's some weird happening in Arc 2 that, you know, we'll see. Okay, now the boss will be taking a lot of damage. Okay. Okay, we're almost in our special, that's good. Can you hold it back? I think we're about to have to set some shit up. Not quite yet. Is that enough? Oh, it is. Okay, good. Mabio, please survive this attack. Okay, if that hit Mabio, she would have been dead as fuck. Psycho technique. Okay, we need to actually break here. So a little bit behind. And breakage. Because we didn't break as fast as we could. I don't think I can use this one yet. No, we need to actually just break here, because otherwise I think we die. Okay, we need to wait though. To refresh some buffs here because we just used a bunch of turns. We don't have the luxury of getting our break bar as high as we possibly can. We're just gonna have to go with this. Fuck it. Or no, we can stall for one more turn. That's fine. Although we do need to keep up our Homo buff. That's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. So Mama said focus guard. I don't think she does. Actually, I don't actually know. I don't think it matters, to be fair. He has Indomitable Guard. He has the other one. I didn't roll focused, I guess. Okay, we're just getting up break percentage up. Break percentage to be as high as possible. Okay, the bonus turn has to not kill. Okay, we do this. I think we're ready. Do we have a homo buff? 25%? Yeah, we have a homo buff. We don't have to worry. Okay, here we go. I was waiting for more. Pretty good. And she's proximity damage, by the way, so someone who was focused on single attack damage like a Kyoko or something would have done more. Or a Swims with Mami. Although my Swims with Mami is like only A0 or something. Yeah, pretty good. Another 4.2 after that. 6 whole million damage, you're right. Pretty good. That at least gives us to 15th on the leaderboard. But yeah, pretty good. I'm not going to be able to get much higher on the leaderboard, by the way. Not because I don't have Swims with Mami at high ascensions or because my Kyoko isn't built to full, but rather because my Mabuyu is only A3, right? Like, my Mabuyu needs to be like... She needs to have way more ascensions than this. Like, Mabuyu, what are you doing? Mabuyu, you need to be like A5. Come on, what are you doing? How are you not... Like, look at A4 from Mabuyu. We could have had 50% stronger buffs. Like, come on, Mabuyu. What the fuck, man? Also, extra levels on special, which gives even more ally damage dealt buff. Like, come on, Mabuyu. What are you doing? Just slacking, Mabuyu. Slacking as always. And of course, theoretically, of course, yes, the Nemu could have A4, which would give her, I think, more damage taken. Okay, it's just 4 is damage taken, so that's why you would play Swims with Mami, of course. But also A4 for more debuffs. But yeah, pretty good. I'm satisfied with this. I can be entirely satisfied with this. Did we get some orbs, by the way? I can't believe we still haven't increased the Nemu yet. Come on, we gotta get Nemu to 20. 120. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Syndicate Mami a double. We're not gonna get another Mami for the next 3 or 4 years, and I'm all for it. I can't wait to not get another Mami alt ever again. Oh, that is, that sounds so good. No more Mami alts? Oh yeah, fucking yes. How did we almost get the current total score bonus, but not quite? How are we this close? Because you have 5 more Mamis. Don't curse me with the game making more and more money through more Mami. Actually, can you even trust this? We still have to do this automatically because the thing. More money, alright. Sadly, that's the case. So here's the thing, by the way, about Mami. You might think that the reason why they're doing this, so many Mami alts, is because Mami is really popular. That is only partially true because Mami is not actually as popular as a lot of other characters. For like every single year on our Discord server, we've had a popularity poll. We had one just like last week or something. And it turns out that Mami is like not even in the top 10 in most years. Like most years, Mami is not even top 10 on all characters. Like, I think about half of all the years we've had so far, Ren was actually more popular than Mami, for example. There were some years Like, I think there was one year actually where Mami was the least popular Puella Magi Holy Quintet member. Like, there was a year where Sayaka and Kyoko and of course Madoka and Homura were like way more popular than Mami. Like, Mami is not actually as popular as people believe, right? There are many other characters that are way more popular than Mami. However, and I think that is actually true, what I'm about to say, Mami fans are a lot more willing to part with their hard-earned money and spend it on Mami than other fans. Like, fans for example Sayaka and Kyoko, they don't spend as much on Sayaka and Kyoko merchandise than, for example, Mami fans spend on Mami merchandise. Because Mami fans, like, I'm not saying that if you're into Mami, you're someone who just, you know, likes that kind of personality, wink wink, or that kind of person rather, that kind of character design, that's what I want to say, that kind of character design. And people who are into that tend to spend more than characters who are into more subdued designs. But that is definitely part of the equation, okay? Like, people who are horny are more likely to spend more money. So the developers know this. The developers absolutely do know this, which is why they put so many Mami alts out there, because they know, yeah, it sells. It sells. Not because Mami is popular, but because Mami fans are very desperate about parting with their hard-earned money. Okay, do this. I'm not trying to get a high score here, I'm just trying to win the fight at all, so we get the last bit of score that we need. About bursting after fighting with Nagisa and Akuma Homura. Oh, that's gonna be the biggest amount of money they will ever make. And we won't even know how much it is. Because basically all of the money they make is in the web shop, and you don't know the web shop numbers. No one knows the web shop numbers. So no one actually knows how much money they're making. Which is why at no point can we ever actually say if the game is doing well or not. Because literally no one knows except from the developers themselves. Only the developers know if the game is doing well or not. No one else knows. Because all those numbers are not public. Unless of course they do something like an earnings call, and then in the earnings call they say, oh, we made this and that much money, then we'll know, of course. But yeah, until then no one knows. But I assume that they're going to make most of the money, not with Mami, but with the combined bundle of Nagisa and Akuma Homura, who I assume are gonna release like right next to each other. Because they're both gonna release with Rebellion, right? Like, when Rebellion happens, we're gonna get both Nagisa and we're gonna get Akuma Homura, and it's gonna be a lot of money. Record shut down soon because they felt like it was ready to go, or was it failing financially? Record was not failing financially. Record was actually doing pretty well for itself even after all these years, right? That said, the numbers were steadily going down, right? Like, let's not kid ourselves, the numbers were steadily declining, but they were declining so slowly that the game could have gone on for like 4 or 5 more years and still made profit, right? However, the thing is, you need to invest people, like actual developers that keep developing the game, that put new stuff in there. You need to pay for voice actors to record more lines and do all kinds of, like, you need to keep paying for that. And even if you get a profit, you can then ask yourself the question, if instead of investing that kind of money into making just a little bit of profit, what if instead we made etc. And then etc. doesn't make just this much profit, but like this much profit, right? So even though Mega Record made money, it still made financial sense to say, developers, please make this game instead, right? So it did still make financial sense to do etc. But the game was not failing. Mega Record was still doing financially totally fine. That said, I think etc. is probably doing much better financially. And I think the main reason for that is that they just have a much wider reach. Not just because they have a global version, which haha global and region lock, but still a lot more global than anything they ever did before in the past. Right? And at the same time, the game is just better. And the game feels a lot more modern, it feels a lot more caught up to the times, and it plays better in my opinion. Like, they laid the groundwork, and this is also the important part. This game has a lot better groundwork, a much better foundation. Like, the actual foundation that you can rest everything on top of is much better in this game, because it actually feels like, or it felt like at the time, that a Mega Record being a success was not expected. it felt like they just did an experiment and see, maybe people like Mario Record, maybe not. And then they suddenly went, oh shit, Mario Record is making money, holy shit. And then they just tried as quickly as possible to actually put more stuff into Mario Record and do whatever they could. And they had to bolt a lot of stuff onto Mario Record after the fact, because it was quite clear that the foundation that Mario Record had wasn't very flexible. Like, the combat system that Mario Record had was incredibly unflexible, right? You couldn't do much with Mario Record's gameplay system. You couldn't put that many different types of game modes into the game as far as the gameplay itself was concerned, because like the actual combat design just wasn't made for any amount of depth at all, right? So it was quite clear that they didn't expect Mario Record to be as long, to be going for as long as they did. And it's also quite clear that they only planned for one arc. And then when they noticed how successful it was, they went, oh shit, I guess we're gonna have to make a second arc. And it was, you can tell by the writing that the second arc feels very different. And that also that the lead in to arc 2 feels very much like the writers going, well, I guess we need to have more stuff to write about, so we're just gonna make some shit up so that we can make more story happen, right? But yeah, to me it was very clear that Record being as much of a success as it was a surprise, and that they then had to scramble to actually add more stuff, add more depth to the game over time, right? But with etc., they've come really hard, swinging right out the gate, saying, here's all the different gameplay systems, like all the different game modes, here's all the cool mechanics that we can make, like, etc., even on its release version, had more game mechanics in its gameplay than Mario Record ever had throughout its entire lifetime, right? And they've since then added like the Crystallis system, right? They've added all kinds of new characters with new kinds of mechanics, like the double turns with Mario or whatever. They've added so much shit already, and they're flexing on us. They're flexing about how much stuff they can actually add to this game. And they added the dollhouse, right? They added the camera feature. They are flexing on how much stuff they can actually still add to the game to show you that the foundation that they've built, that you can put stuff on, is so much stronger in etc., right? And that is the main goal of etc. Like, etc. was actually built to go on for a long amount of time. Mario Record was not built to go on for a long amount of time, etc. is. Which is why I also don't think that the first year for etc. is gonna be as important as most people think. I think etc. is in it for the long haul. They're in it to win it years from now. But yeah, that's basically it. The game made you a fan of Homoda. That's always nice to see. And the game also made a lot of people not fans of Mami. Like, I've seen a lot of people who are like, I don't like Mami anymore because this is getting ridiculous. And I agree. Here's the thing. I like Mami less today than I did last week because of this. Like, I've been a lot more mean towards Mami in this week, and you can tell why, right? Like, my patience is running thin when it comes to Mami. And Mami fans are probably not happy about this, that now a lot of people are no longer happy with Mami. A lot of people are starting to get mad at Mami. Yeah. I actually confused about this because there's so much players on JP servers and so little of the others. Because like most of the appeal of Madoka Magica, generally most of the appeal of magical girl franchises is still like something that's hugely Japanese. Most of the rest of the world doesn't care that much about like a magical girl as a franchise, right? Like as a genre rather, as a genre. But even more so, they put a lot more money and effort and resources and marketing into Japanese. Like, if you're someone in the West, if you don't already know about Madoka Magica, you probably aren't even gonna find this game because they just aren't investing much money into advertising this game. So yeah. So I mean, they released all the witch designs before ending record release. They released a lot of them at least. Like, they did release a bunch. Yu and She even increased their numbers. Yeah, how could it not? Yu is one of the greatest magical girls ever, and Yu needs to be in. Yu needs to be in etc. Absolutely. Yu is a 2-meter tall monster that can barely think straight anymore. She's a magical girl in theory, but yeah, she kills random people that she has a magical list that say who is evil, and she goes around and kills people who the list says are evil, and then she cuts them to pieces and sells their organs on the organ market. And she feels like she's an ally of justice because she's hunting evil people, and she's a 2-meter tall freak. Yeah, that's you. We need you in the game. She's fucking fantastic. In Rebellion, accept the release 2 Homuras, Devil and another Homura have a black dress like Familia's Cloudals. There's so many more Homuras I can put into the game. It's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, except that's also on Steam, which of course is fantastic. As an English Market player, can I have info and if Arc 2 Mami was even there? I don't think she was. Like, I know there was some side stories that she was in, like some side content, but as far as the main story is concerned, I don't think Mami was even in Arc 2. I wonder how much the developers understand that characters can change the perception of that character. They do understand that, but I don't think that's as important as deciding who actually gets the alt. How did Karen not get the alt? Like, that is insane to me, that Karen didn't get the alt. Like, that is absolutely absurd. Given the... Oh, talking about the macro game, when does Kuroya appear? She appears, I think, at the start of Arc 2. At least generally in the game. But as far as the main story is concerned, Kuroya is not in the main story. She does entirely her own stuff on the side. Given the presence of Baby, I feel like this everyday Halloween AU is Rebellion, but Karen is the witch experiment. There's some wacky stuff going on in this universe. Like, this universe is doing some insano shit. Like, absolute insano stuff. I think magical girls aren't even called magical girls in that universe. I think they're called sorceresses or something. Like, that is a proper alternate universe, where nothing is as you would expect it, right? Absolutely everything is entirely different. It's not I9 also staying for you. Yeah. A lot of I do want you, like, at some point, but it's not like I need her right now. I might have said that earlier, but I don't need her right now. It's okay. She can wait a little bit. Is that just like Mami back in Scene 0? Even though I accept that I like her much less. She's like, Mami, here comes I consider myself a Mami hater. Yeah, it's a bit wearing thin. People are jelly of Mami. I don't think it's as much being jealous of Mami as it is disappointed in the fact that other characters aren't getting it instead, right? Like, Mami can have her alts, right? You can give all the alts to Mami, but Kyoko has no alt yet. Kyoko doesn't even have an alt yet. Also, Karen is like the protagonist of both Part 1 and Part 2, and she's not getting an alt. Like, some people have said, oh, what if she's getting like a Part 3 with an alt? It seems like that's not gonna happen. It seems like Karen really is not getting an alt this Halloween, which is insane. She's the protagonist in both Part 1 and Part 2, has her own outfit, and I think even her own, like, Life 2D, that's 3D, like her own 3D and stuff, and she's not getting an alt. What the fuck are we doing, right? So it's not like I'm angry at Mami, it's more so I'm just disappointed in the developers. Yeah, there's still so much more stuff you can do with Kyoko and Kanae. Oh, yeah, Kanae is also a pretty nice one. Anyone mind Mami having a Halloween alt? Either Kyoko or Karen also had one. Yeah, like, why are they why are they not having an alt yet? This is like insane. Okay, we're not done yet. We got keys or something? I think we got keys. It wasn't any of these, yeah. Let's draw some keys from here. Yay, medals. Almost all doppel units will be delayed thanks to doppel Iroha. It seems like that might be the case, because they did mention that they want to do something with Iroha that they can then also apply to further doppel units in the future, right? They don't want to just change doppel Iroha's model, but future models too. Even if they had to prioritize time for development, they should have postponed Mami for a possible Karen alt. Yeah, like, they could have just done Halloween Mami next year and just given us the Karen this year. I think that would have been, like, the obvious choice. Okay, I need Mabu, please. Please. That's also fine. Like, at least that's some ascension that I still needed. Not like coins. Medals, rather. Okay, we have Chaos. Yeah, we need to do chaos. Why is that still giving me the red dot? It's not longer giving me the red dot. What are you doing? Gallery? Oh yeah, we got gallery stuff for the witch. Actually, they did put the witch in the gallery. Somewhere. Oh yeah, it's part of the desert witch. You can now swap between desert witch and... Switch witch. Wait. Wait, is that she's her own thing now? That's not right. Oh, she is her own thing now. Look at that. To be honest, that is kind of funny. That is kind of funny, to be fair. And we have the updated environment. Doesn't that look nice? Someone explain what characters in the story have been girlfriends with Alina? You mean in the event story? Or in like the manga record story? Because in manga record story she doesn't do anything. In manga record story she really does only just exist to do stuff for Alina, to be fair. Is that really upside down? It's upside down within this one. There you go. What if Mami will ever get an alt? Everything is possible. I mean, you should know now that everything is possible because alt universe story. They can just make any alt universe story they could possibly ever think of. Anything is possible. So by the way, this one is marked as a what if story, which means it's part of the regular canon, but it's like, this is a scene that you just didn't see, but it happened somewhere off screen, right? This is a what if story, basically. Or it happened in a different timeline. But alt universe means like, we're in a completely different fucking territory. This is not happening in any of the universes we've seen so far. Which being said, yeah, they can do whatever they want. Which is perfect, because I like that. That was also one of the main reasons why they wanted to make etc. Because with Manga Record, you had to fit everything into the Manga Record universe. And they already had to resort to Shizuku. Shizuku, by the way, in case you don't know, has the power to teleport to any location on planet Earth instantly. It really is that overpowered. Like, instantly, any location on planet Earth. You can just do that. However, Shizuku also has the ability, with enough magical energy, to travel to parallel universes. Because Shizuku is kind of overpowered. Like, Shizuku might be the most comically overpowered character in the entire Madoka franchise, by the way. Maybe even more overpowered than Homura in that sense. But yeah, Shizuku can travel an open portal to parallel universes. And the reason they did that is because they wanted to have a parallel universe portal that they can then pull, what they did. They pulled Nanoha. Nanoha and Fate and whatever, they pulled her through the Shizuku parallel universe portal. And that was one way of explaining why it's possible to have like other characters from other universes coming in. And they could have used that to bring characters from other universes in, like within the Madoka universes too, right? But that's kind of weird to have like one character, like Shizuku only exists now, to bring in, for example, like, I don't know, fucking Kazumi from another universe, right? Like, not from this universe, a different universe is Kazumi, who still has friends that are alive and can actually become characters in the story. So instead they said, you know what, just make her, no, we want to make an entire game. An entire game where you can just have any character from any universe and do anything you want, and we don't have to worry about needing to actually explain why any of these universes' stories can happen. Like, no, we just say, you're in a mystical place outside of time and space that can view any story that happened and any story that didn't happen. And there you go. Etc. can now do whatever they want. Okay, what do we got? Let me just look at this boss. The Artist Witch. This is the new Chaos boss, by the way. We're doing Chaos. What do we got? Fire, Water, Void. Okay. Interesting. Increases attack based on how many allies are present. That looks like normal Artist. Significantly decreases durability of barrier. So they wanted to use a healer. And they still want you to kill ads as fast as possible. Okay. Increases all our damage. Okay, it looks no. Okay, everything looks normal so far, apart from, you know, the barriers doing less. Well, let's just see what happens. I want to see the ads. Show me your ads. Assist. Assist probably means that it will always have allies. Or it does allies at the end of every turn, something like that. Great. Increases all attack when not afflicted with ailment. Greatly increases great. Okay, we need ailments? Is this a Ren boss? This is a Ren boss. This is a Ren boss. Look, guys, we found the Ren boss. I know there haven't been enough Ren bosses so far, but here's another Ren boss. Yeah, Shizuku's a side character too. That's kind of hilarious. Okay, we need just Ren. Just Ren, actually. Okay, what are the elements? We have fire, we have water, and we have void. Fire, water, void. What can we put on here? We can use this for heals. Right? We use Mitama. Yeah, Mitama would give us damage reduction, but I think I'm gonna use Pluvia Clara first, because I think she might actually be better for this. Fire, water, void. Are we gonna keep this? Although it's not AoE. We have an AoE breaker of Fire, Water, Void. Oh, we do have an AoE breaker for Fire, Water, Void. Where are you? Dude, I'm blind sometimes. I'm really sorry. My blindness knows no bounds. There we go. What else do we have? Let's just do a Void team. No, not a full Void team. Should we do full Void team? I guess we're not going to use Pluvia Cloud today either, because we're going to full Void team. You're going to say, put me on Void, put me on the Void team. This is now the Void team. I kind of love how silly the AU stories. I haven't actually read the story myself yet, because of course I didn't have time yet, but the story is insanely fucking silly. Like, absurdly silly. Which makes sense, because Karin is in there, and Karin is like the patron saint of silliness as far as this game is concerned. Like, it's as much as rather the entire Madoka universe is concerned. So yeah, we do this. What else do we have? You can take more attack. You want this. I don't know if we actually need HP recovery. Maybe. Maybe. 81,000 power, we're gonna have a bunch more. The highest power I have is like 89,000 or something. Like, once I reach 120, I will be at 90,000, I think, with my highest team power. Is this good enough? Yeah, this is good enough. Haha! Oh my god, that was loud. No, not this one. Let's do this one. Good. And then you can take this. And there you go. Double Mario stand power. That's great. What? A limited Mabayu in scenes, final scene 0. Yeah, they could do that. They can do a bunch more now with Mabayu now that she's no longer confined to her own story. She has main character potential all the way. It's really how much love they gave in Arc 1 and Arc 2. Yeah. Absolutely. Shizuku can absolutely do more. But it's really hard to do much with Mabayu, because the thing is, with Shizuku is too powerful. Shizuku is, like I said, she can teleport to any location on the planet, and she can open also portals to any location on the planet. For herself and for others to use. And with enough power, she can open portals to parallel universes, which, by the way, is also canon to Etc. Because the very first Etc. Original event, which was the first Mitama event, the very first Mitama event has Shizuku open a portal to a parallel universe. So, how do you write around that if you include her as in like a main story? How do you write around a character being this incredibly fucking powerful? How do you not accidentally have every single problem ever solved by Shizuku just being Shizuku? How can she not solve every problem immediately? Like, that's just a bit too overpowered. Yeah, I didn't know to do that actually. That was kind of a waste. Good job, good job. She goes too powerful, that's why she isn't playable, yeah? That's actually why she's not playable. It's also why she had to be written out of the Arc 1 finale. Like, in the Arc 1 finale, every single character in the entire game was part of the story. Except for Karin, who, I guess now we know what she was doing, because there's actually a new side story regarding her in etc. Of like what she was doing at the time. And Shizuku. She had to be written out of the story. Like, at the very start of the story, she gets hurt, and then is hurt for the entire story. Because she would have been too powerful. And that tells you something. When they're going up against Walpurgisnacht and saying we have to write Shizuku out of the story, because otherwise Walpurgisnacht would not be a credible threat anymore. That's quite damning. Okay, we need to... I should not have used too many skill points before the ad spawn. Should have waited more skill points after the ad spawned. Because now I need to reapply wound and all of my ailments again. But yeah, that should be about it. Tsuzukemasu. Don't have enough for breaking, it's okay. They're not gonna kill us right now, are they? Right, we're gonna be fine. They're not gonna kill us. Especially when we do this. And this, no, it's overkill because we're gonna get 2 more stacks here. Oh, we're not gonna get 2 more stacks. I don't have Kiriko on the team. On both of their stories, it's been long, yeah. It's been a long time since then. We need more stacks. I need to keep using more skills to get more stacks. Because she gets more stacks of her stuff the more she uses her skill. The ads are all almost dead and I didn't even break them yet. I feel like this team is too powerful against this boss. Good. Yeah, this team is too powerful. Like, Ren plus Alina is kind of overpowered. Like, when enemies are void weak. Like, they can't do shit to me. I'm gonna refresh here, but Mami, my Mitama doesn't need to do much either. Yeah, she's one of those micro side characters and it's surprisingly OP. There's also Meiyue, who is in the game already, but Meiyue is also surprisingly overpowered as fuck. Because she can basically change anyone's perception of reality in a radius around her. To like a comical degree. She can like make anyone believe anything in a radius around her in such a powerful way that people don't even understand that what they're seeing is wrong. Because it like messes with their brainwaves. Like she's extremely fucking overpowered. And that's Meiyue. She's a 3-star character in etc right now. Okay, look at those, but we can see the resistance values, isn't that nice? Okay. Increases all allies' ailment resistance, there counts the counter. Which, it's still not 100% by the way. Like you still have only a 60% resistance, which isn't enough. We're still gonna hit him. We're not affected with debuff effect, greatly increases breakage. Okay, now they want you to use debuff. The thing is, I don't know if you know this. Ren does both ailment and debuff. Which means that she also counters this guy. Yeah, she also counters these guys. So not only does Ren counter the first 2 adds, because she uses an ailment, she also counters the second wave of add, because she uses a debuff. What's this wave? What's the other guy do? Increases breakage depletion. Yeah, doesn't matter that much. Ren may be a bit powerful. Yeah, Bohomura just makes this an abuse, but the thing is, Bohomura doesn't even need to do much. Because I think Ren and Alina already do everything that you need to do. That needs to be done in this battle. Okay, I have maximum stacks on Bohomura now, so she can go back to normal attacks now. More good to good. Mami could never, yeah. Mami does like one thing and only one thing. She does it really well though. Ren does like everything though. Ren does not give a shit.
もっとやれるんです続けます
Oi! Oi! Bam!
続けま
That's
す
Ren for you.
負けませんよく狙って
Okay, now let's get some break bonus here.
続けます
Mitama needs
や
to
る
use
気
a
が
buff.
出てきたかも
As far as the max damage is concerned, we're not gonna get that. Yeah, that's kind of sad. We're just not gonna get that. I needed to use Yachio, I think, for this.
早く終わらせる
Either Yachio or Kyoko would actually work well here for that.
全然大量続けます
But yeah, I think this is just not good enough.
私が戦わなきゃよく狙って
Like as far as the max damage is concerned, because Bow Homura is proximity and her burst is also spread across 2 attacks, so she's not actually good for max damage.
まどかが守りたかっ
At least she's gonna crit.
た私が守ってみせる消えなさい
We got it, actually. We actually got it. We still got it because I have an A4 Bow Homura, who's pretty good. We still got it. So yeah, Ren and Alina is a pretty good combo against enemies that are Void Weak. Okay, what do we have with Chairperson? Chairperson. Let's see what this one is. So with Chaos Witches, you gotta go in first just to see what the boss does.
さあ行くわよ早く終わらせる
Okay, grants 2 actions on even number turns. Okay, enemies SP. If enemies FP is enemies SP. Oh my god, I'm getting a fucking aneurysm reading this. Is lower than 3. Significantly increases damage dealt. If enemies SP is 3 or higher, significantly increases break gauge depletion resistance. Significantly decreases damage taken. I think this is very similar to her actual like nightmare mode mechanic. It's just that that mechanic is so weak in nightmare mode that you can just ignore it and everyone just ignores it. But now it seems like they don't want you to ignore this mechanic anymore. Unless we can also ignore it. We'll see. So the idea is, by the way, that you want to use up all your SP as hard as you can to do break gauge depletion to the enemy, but then when the boss is about to take a turn, you stop using SP and get up to 3 SP, so that when the enemy takes a turn, you're at 3 SP and higher, and the boss doesn't do any damage, right? So you're always like low on SP to deal damage and get break gauge depletion, and then when the boss is about to take a turn, get to high SP so you don't take damage, right? I have a feeling with an A4, or rather my A5 Kirika, I have a feeling an A5 Kirika is gonna make me ignore this entire mechanic by just having really strong shields. Is my guess. We'll see. And yeah, it also apparently gets a buff depending on SP amount, although it doesn't tell me if the buff is stronger with higher SP or if the buff is stronger with lower SP. I don't know. It didn't say. It didn't say. So yeah, my guess is we just go Kirika and laugh.
その時じゃない
Let's see if I'm correct. We're still
私は
picking
戦い続け
Homu, I think. Wait, what do we have? Dark? I think we're using Mifuyu for dark. Oh, it's also Aqua, right? Let me check.
いいけど
Yeah, it's also Aqua, so we're using Lena actually. And Fire Aqua. Yeah, Fire Aqua Dark. We could use Tsuruno for memes, but I don't know if we want to do memes. We're gonna probably use Ui.
私頑張るね
Hmm.
出たとこ勝負で行ってみよ
Actually, no, I think this is fine. And then Kirika.
オリコの命令なら喜んで
This looks pretty good. This means as soon as the boss is broken, we're gonna crit the boss really fucking hard. Okay, let me check. Blah, do this. Yeah, but they're planning on Chaos Needwitch. Oh, it's gonna be fun. That is gonna be a fun fight, I can already tell.
うやるしかないですよね傭兵である俺の出番だな導きが必要なのね協力するか
There still aren't many good
傭兵である俺の出番だな
supports for Kirika. Yeah, I'll take it for speed, I guess.
果た 私
致し方ないです。
しょうがないな。
You do this? No, you do
私でいい
that.
んですか？
Doesn't matter that much.
致し方ないです。
Okay, the Witch of Pain and Suffering. Ha ha ha. She's gonna be suffering. Not me.
トウカちゃん参上。
Like the Ares Limited so far hasn't been must-pull characters. Yeah, the Limited so far has been on a similar level of strength as like not limited characters, like standard characters. Yeah, like you might look at Bomuda and be like, oh man, Bomuda is really, really powerful, or Madukame is really, really powerful. But then you remember, oh yeah, regular Homoda is a standard character. Regular Mami is a standard character. Fucking Ren is a standard character. And you go like, okay, maybe the limited characters really aren't overpowered at all. Maybe they are actually just as good as other characters. So yeah, we don't need an attack there. Although maybe MP recovery. There you go. Okay, let's see if we can just ignore the mechanic. Are Kirika's shields strong enough? Does she have it? I think she has it, so we might get a Kirika turn here. No, not quite. Okay. Okay, now we're at 3 or below, so now we actually do break damage. Oh my god, that's a lot of fucking break damage. Holy shit, that's a lot of break damage. What the fuck? I need... Oh, Homoda needs to start getting MP because we're gonna break soon. What the fuck? Holy shit. Okay, are we gonna die now? That is a crap ton of fucking damage, and she just gave herself an absolute crap ton of fucking speed. But we might still be fine. We may still be fine. Because here comes a speed debuff and an attack debuff. Oh, we didn't get the speed skill point for this. Although can actually mess the boss up by doing this now. Yeah, fuck it, let's mess the boss up. Now the boss does less damage. As you can see. That's the boss mechanic. How long is the speed buff, by the way? Another 2 turns. I don't know why it says SP0. That's supposed to not be here, I think. Also not the effect. I think they actually got the skill description and put part of the skill description in here. Okay. There'll be a witch with 2 aspects to them. There's been Chitoi that changed, but not sure if that counts. They can definitely do some stuff like that, and they totally have it in them. They totally have it in them to do some crazy shit like a witch that changes in the middle of the fight. They've already shown, by the way, and people don't really take note of that as much. Like with Pogesnacht and with, for example, I don't know if Charlotte had it, but also Octavia. All these fights that had you fight the boss multiple times, there was like a bar next to the health bar that showed you like this boss has 3 lives, right? They already have a mechanic that says like this boss has multiple lives. They already have that. They just haven't made use of that yet. But they totally could do that. Okay, how much break attack does this guy get to? A break bonus. Okay, gonna need another break here, and we are actually gonna take some damage here. Does it show you, by the way? It does not show you how much the break multiplier goes. Huh, whatever. Okay, there we go. That's another special. We might actually kill here. Oh no, we're not close enough. No! That is so close. Change SP? I don't know what I meant with change SP. Did the mechanic invert? I don't know, maybe the mechanic that it had inverted now, and now we need to be on low SP, I don't know. No, I'm still doing a lot of break damage. Maybe that's not it. I don't know what that was. Change SP. Yeah, no, that's still the old mechanic. I think I'm dead here. Unless I now start playing to the mechanic. Then we can just do it. We can now just stop playing to the mechanic. It's fine. The Chaos Witch Nader's 10 Magic Stones. Nice. Okay, have you guys been rolling on Mami? And if so, how has it been? Have you been getting some good pulls? Okay, let's get above 10. We don't need to go above 3. Just 3 is fine, actually. Okay, we don't actually want to do this this Tsuruno one here. We don't want to actually spend an SP here. So we don't want to go above 3. Okay, there we go. We're breaking, but we need some speed debuff on the boss so the boss doesn't take the turn too quickly. You need to buy for 200 medals. Ooh, that's kind of sad. I'm sorry to hear that. By the way, to everyone who rolled on her banner and has gotten her at some point, and you still have some rolls left, keep in mind, the medals for the Mami shop are also going to be the same medals as for the Alina shop. So Alina will use the same medals. So if you were to roll all the way to 200, and you don't want to buy Mami, you could actually wait until Alina releases and then buy Alina instead. Just saying. Okay, that actually gets us to this, which means we get max break bonus. So we can do this, and this kills. Right, we don't need to worry. There we go. Easy. So we get the max damage bonus. For max damage bonus, I guess just bring Yachio, because Yachio crits really high. Also, the boss right now has the defense up, which of course is not gonna help. But yeah, bring Yachio for the crit stuff. We dropped too low as well because we didn't play to the mechanic well enough. But yeah, not too difficult. Next up, the Sunbox Switch. What do we have? Forest, Light, and Void, which means we could try a Void team again. We don't have music for this one. But I can actually play some music. Where is it? Data mine assets. There we go. Data mined music. Where's the data mine music? Ah, there it is. Ah, not that one though. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Game data, resources, sound, BGM, BGM battle. Is that one new? Ah, there you go. Battle Halloween. I think that's the Halloween one. Let me see. That is not it at all. That is wrong. What about this one? Let's just use that one. Okay, what's this one do? Is it? Oh yeah, it's shield. Oh, it's light type. We can use Tsukasa. The battle start significantly increases action order. Yeah, we've seen that. At turn end and on break, applies a shield that greatly reduces damage. Okay, that's a passive effect, which means we can't remove it with Tsukasa. The number of shields applied. Oh, is this a multi-hit boss? Increases based on the total number of enemy debuffs. That's weird. Okay. Enemy to the boss, so our debuffs, or debuffs on the boss. Let's check it. While shield active, greatly increases break speed. Okay. Significantly increases all enemies' barrier and HP recovery. Okay. We might still use a defender, by the way, for passive. Let me see what shield active on self, removes all enemy buffs. Okay, no, it must be that. Okay, so it must be that it increases the strength of its shields the more debuffs are on us. So it's going to use the speed debuff and the defense debuff and then have really strong shields. But Mitama removes debuffs from everyone. And I think that's just what we do. Yeah, we just get Mitama. And apart from that, that's about it. And by the way, do you know which character is really good at removing enemy shields? It would have to be a character that attacks very often. A character that attacks very often that can remove enemy shields. There's also Void type. It's another Ren boss. It's another Ren boss. Let's fucking go. We have another Ren boss on our hands. It's another Ren boss. Isn't that great to have another Ren boss already? And what else do we have? So we can take Mitama for the debuff removal, and then we have Forest and Light, which means we're gonna get more turns, please. Forest and Light. Is my Iroha build? This is Mel. Right? We can actually take Bomura. Yeah. The bosses simply kill themselves in the presence of Ren. Yeah, somehow Ren counters like every single boss in existence. Like you go through all of the bosses and you read, oh, this boss is countered by Ren. Oh, this boss is countered by Ren. Oh, this boss is also countered by Ren. It just doesn't stop. Somehow they're all countered by Ren. How the fuck? Oh, you just got EX for Tsuruno. Congratulations, Akron. One of the best EX out there. Generally, a lot of the buffer EX are actually really good. Speed here, MP recovery. We don't need MP recovery on Mel anymore, do we? No, because we have Mami standing right next to her, so it's fine. You need attack. Speed defense, no. You need MP, because she needs to get her special as often as possible. Okay. There you go, that one. I want the this one. Wait, no. This one doesn't do MP. I thought I had one that does MP. This is that one. Speed is also good. We have a great day so far. You got Homura Missile EX. Is it good? So that Homura, I assume that is the... Oh yeah, Missile Homura is the Dark Homura. This one is one of the best DPS or like best attackers in the game. So congratulations, you've gotten a great attacker. Not to mention that generally Homura is just really cool. We love Homura here. Oh, you mean her EX? Oh, her EX Crystallis is horrible. Don't use it. As you can see, I don't use it either. Yeah, Missile... Oh, her EX is not good. It's not good. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, but it's not good. I'm really sorry that you have to hear this, but yeah, it's not good. I'm sorry. I made a video, by the way, where I talk about all of the different EX and then ranked how good they all are. It's not entirely accurate. I think I put Kaede like 1 or 2 tiers too high. But I think outside of Kaede, at least the rest are in a spot that at least somewhat makes sense. But yeah. Do you think it's just a mistake forget that she's so powerful? No, I think Ren just does way too many things way too well. That it's like really hard to make a mechanic that Ren doesn't actually counter. They allowed her to do too many things too well. And it's too late now. You can't unmake Ren. She's just gonna be this good now. Hold up. Why is this one so quiet? There you go. Don't worry, you did not grind for nothing, because of course your Homura still needs all of these other crystals, right? Like all the other crystals that you got, Homura needs those. So it wasn't for nothing. Having horrid luck for the Lord's arm, sorry to hear that. Don't worry, it's gonna get better. It always does. Okay, we do actually not go for an instant special here. We actually wait for Mel.
意外とやれるものね
So Mitama is not gonna heal very much because the enemy has reduced our healing, but we like desperately need... Okay, no, we can't do this right now. We need MP, right? I don't think we can get MP right now because we need to get the shields down. The boss is not allowed to get a turn with having shields because the boss is actually stronger when it has shields on it. As you see, damage up shield. That would have maybe killed me.
絶好調よ
However, now we have MP down, which means it's gonna be harder to get MP for anything.
いいわね肩すかしかまだ頑張りますいいわね肩すかしまだ頑張りますいいわね
She, by the way, every single one of those skill uses gives Mitama MP. Because, check this, what is it? Oh no, or does it? On battle skill used by other than self grants 3 MP to self. So he's actually getting MP by Mel charging herself, which is kind of funny.
運命の肩すかし早く終わらせ
I accidentally used special too early. I'm stupid. Can I get a do-over on that? No? Well, shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. 20 Magas don't have so tragic. Ooh, I'm sorry. This is the first game played to the music. I don't remember music that often, by the way. What, you might do that?
やる気が出てきた
D-buffer,
かな
D-make, Yeah, well, future weather really is a fun team. We're slowly getting there, actually.
これね
Okay, I need to get this debuff away from me.
湧いてきます
Debuff, be gone! Bam! Debuff is gone.
避けられないわよ はいやれもっと
Can you hit the wound now? You actually kind of missed the wound again. What's the debuff resistance? 100. Oh, they are fucking mean. That is mean. Because this boss is weak to void. It's weak to void, and they know. They fucking know. They know Ren is powerful. They know Ren is too powerful, so they had to do that. They had to do that. Oh, it's Tiff. Welcome, Tiff. Nice seeing you again. They knew how powerful Ren is, so they specifically put wound resistance to 100%. That is mean. That is mean.
大したことないですねそこ
Okay, also messed up Mel earlier, so let's do a redo. That is mean.
ずちゃん
No, don't celebrate Ren getting nerfed. That is sad. And the boss is weak to wound as well. Then they're never gonna make another wound character ever again. Like, Ren is gonna be the only wound character they will ever release, and then they will just have every boss have 100% wound resistance. That's the only way to nerf Ren. Then, I don't know why I said it like that. Who else are we picking, by the way? What else do we have? Forest, Light, and Void. You can take more, Mother. Right? Oh, I don't want to pick someone else. Good Mario.
タイプなんですけど
Oh, that is dirty. Oh, that is dirty. Oh, that is dirty as fuck. That is so fucking dirty.
私いいよ私最初はね
Wait, why isn't this a Mami?
頑張って私一生懸命頑張ります
What would be another void debuff they can do? Wait, the thing is they don't have to make specifically a void type debuff because they can basically make any debuff they want. So, like for example, you see with Halloween Mami. Like Halloween Mami has this whole Candyholic thing going on. And they can just make something like Candyholic, right? Where they just say, this is a debuff that does whatever the fuck. And it can just be something else. But they don't have to do anything around like wound specifically. I wouldn't be surprised if they just start doing wound resistance specifically. Yeah, I feel like. The game is insanely good UI wise. Oh, and also Ui is very, very good too. Yeah, the UI is also pretty nice. Yeah. This game does feel quite premium.
このまま倒す
A premium experience. So here's why this is so dirty. Because this, it sounds like this shouldn't work. Mabayu takes a crap ton of skill points and Mel takes a crap ton of skill points, so this shouldn't work. Except, if you can pay the upfront SP costs just once, you get most of those SP back while getting an absolute fuck ton of break damage. Yeah. So we're about to get an absolute although on this very first rotation doesn't quite work, because this very first rotation is kind of weak. Because I need her on Ascension 2, I think, for the very first rotation to be different. Now you can tell this rotation right here is a bit awkward. Is it worth doing another one? I don't think it is. So we do this. And then this. And now you can actually use this for that. Okay, so now that the original rotation is always really weird, but now it's about to get a lot more fun. The second rotation is going to be funny, although we do have we have the MP down debuff though, that's kind of sad. Our Mitama is about to get special though, so that should help. Isn't Boris the water type debuff? The thing is, in most cases it is, but sometimes they decide it isn't, right? Like this boss isn't weak to water, but Vortex is 80% and weakness also 80%. Like sometimes it follows the rules, sometimes it doesn't. They kind of do whatever they feel like sometimes. Like most of the time, it's gonna follow the Aqua resistance, but not always. They can just decide to do something different. So I can do this. Okay, sadly I don't have MP gain now because of that shit. So yeah, because of the MP debuff, I don't think I'm gonna get a special here, maybe. I just got 2 specials in a row. This boss is sad as fuck now. Okay, Mitama doesn't need to use special immediately. Can wait for the boss to use another debuff. So does this work? This would work if we had a Mabayu A4, which we don't. How's Halloween Mami? She's great! Except on every fight where Ren is good, she's bad. Because Ren is just Ren. So if you don't have an A5 Ren, or rather if you don't plan on ever using Ren for some reason, then you can use Halloween Mami, but if you have a good Ren, then like there's no point in Halloween Mami really. Okay, so this doesn't work, right? Because we don't have A4 Mabayu, so let's take it slow for a second. Okay, use a debuff. That's not a debuff. I specifically got this for you. How much does it heal? 400, still better than nothing. Okay, refresh the debuff. I messed up. No, I didn't. Yeah, the shields mess me up because I think I deal a lot less break gauge reduction while the shields are up, so Mel is actually not good here, because Mel doesn't do many hits. You want someone who does many hits to get through the shield. Also, Mabi not being A4 and missing so many skill points is really sad. Do you know my Holy Mami's ability don't stack with Mifuyu stacks? Do you mean Holy Mami or Halloween Mami? Also, what do you mean with Mifuyu stacks? Oh! You mean if it hits multiple times? Yeah, if it hits multiple times, it still only counts as one attack. Also, and I think this is weird, I think Holy Mami's doesn't count as multi-hit anyway. Same with Oriko. Like, Oriko and Holy Mami I don't think count as multi-hit. Like, Swimsuit Mami, Swimsuit Mami counts as multi-hit, but Holy Mami doesn't count as multi-hit. It's weird, I don't know. Okay, we really cool body buff. There's so much cool shit you could have done with Mitama that they didn't. that I'm only a lot mad about.
まだ余裕があるわ。避けられないわよ。
Okay, get rid of that fucking debuff immediately. Bam! That's what I wanted to do this entire time. And now we just gotta get through the shields, and then we can go. Can we even get through shields in time? I don't think we can.
今がチャンス。避けられないわよ。
We're still not through the shields. That's just sad.
このまま消えなさい。
I would like buffs, please. Oh yeah. 20. So the shield that the boss gives itself at the end of its turn is only 5 shields. This one is 20. This one is 20. That still dealt a lot of damage, by the way. It's passive, so we can't buff remove it. We may still be able to do it because Homura takes a shit ton of fucking turns. Also, even with the shield, we're still fucking killing the boss. Holy shit. They absolutely fucking destroy. Oh my god. Homura doesn't fuck around. We're not gonna get the damage record like that, or for the damage record you have to break the shields first. So, okay, gotta stop this. Unectitious. The thing is, I don't blame you for not being able to beat the first Chaos boss, because the first Chaos boss is the hardest of all Chaos bosses. This boss is easier. This boss is easier. This boss is easier, this boss is easier, this boss, this boss, this boss, this boss, that boss, this boss, they're all easier. Every single one of them is easier than the very first boss. But you have to beat them in order. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. In fact, I still haven't even gotten the damage record on this boss yet, because this boss is just fucking insane. I did make a guide video on my YouTube where I tried to make the simplest teams possible to beat this boss, and I'm gonna make more in the future. I just have a lot of stuff on my plate right now. Generally, I have had a lot of stuff on my plate for like the past few months. But if you can at least get through the first one, the second one is also really difficult, but it's still easier than the first one. And after you've done the first two, all of the other ones are much easier. So yeah, nice, we've done it. I can definitely get the other records on this one too if I tried a little bit harder. But yeah, that was the new Chaos bosses and the new score attack. And the Halloween Mummy that I'm gonna have to do a guide about. So yeah, I think we're about at the end. I'm gonna have to worry about this setup now. Oh, the very first to say the username correctly? Ha! Well, I got all the other ones incorrect, so I gotta have to at least get one of them correct. There has actually been, I've seen a, as far as the first Chaos boss goes, I've seen someone do a meme setup where they only have 3 characters and they're like low rarity characters that was able to beat the boss, but it looked so incredibly specific with the stuff they had to do that I'm not sure I'm able to just replicate it that easily. But maybe I'll look into that as well. And maybe like make even a secondary video where I talk about the meme build. But the meme build, like this meme setup with like 3 low rarity characters only, and like not even 5 characters, you only have these 3 characters on the team. That might be more difficult than the stuff I put in my video, I'm not sure, I don't know. Okay, so for Crystal is farming. Yeah, I don't know. Halloween Mommy can go somewhere here. More dark characters! Yay. It's my Crystal's farming team right now. What? Why are you so loud? Okay, so yeah, I think I'm at the end. Still only 2 hours stream, which was insane because I did 3 chaos bosses and score attack twice and everything. But I guess if you beat everything like first or second try, it goes really fast. Huh. But yeah, I'm gonna do some crystals farming now. Generally though, I think I'm done for today with this. And did I get something? Never mind. Oh, I want to say something. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna do a stream tomorrow. So tomorrow, of course, it's Halloween, and not just that, it's also a national holiday in, not just a national holiday, it's just a vacation day. It's a holiday, just a holiday in Germany, at least in the place where I live. So, also because it's Halloween, which by the way, this is like where Halloween gets its name from, is this specific holiday that is the holiday tomorrow here in Germany, which is called Allerheiligen. And Allerheiligen literally means in English, All Hallows. And it's the eve of All Hallows, and of course All Hallows Eve is just Halloween. But the point I wanted to get to, after all of that posturing, is that tomorrow I want to do a very special stream. I want to do a Halloween stream tomorrow. Maybe I'm even going to put some, not a costume or anything, but just, maybe I'm going to wear something different or something, I don't know. I'm going to look at some crazy shit that I have, I don't know. Not crazy, normal stuff, but you know, just something different. And I'm going to play maybe some horror game. There's a game that I've been eyeing. Because I like the Kingsfield games, for example, and I haven't actually played any Silent Hill games, but I've seen like playthroughs or everything like Silent Hill game. And there's this game that combines Kingsfield with Silent Hill. And it's called Mao no Meikyu, which I think is Labyrinth of the Demon King. And Labyrinth of the Demon King was released just like a month ago or something, or like a few months ago actually. And I want to play it. I want to play Labyrinth of the Demon King, which is like Kingsfield but Silent Hill. And I want to see if I can maybe do that tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to stream the entire game and like do like a one-day sitting playthrough or something. Imagine Rasa Mita's outfit. I only have Homoda's outfit lying around. No, I have something different that I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna look into that. But I'm gonna see if I can play through maybe not the entirety of that game, because I don't know how long it is. Maybe it's the kind of game you can play through in a single day. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's like really long or something. I don't know. But we'll see how far we can get. Maybe it's only gonna be an hour. Maybe it's gonna be like 10 hours. I don't fucking know. We'll just see what happens. Anything can happen tomorrow. Literally anything can happen tomorrow. We don't know. Anything is possible. But yeah, that's it for the plans for tomorrow. Tomorrow, Halloween stream. I don't know when I'm gonna start. I might start rather soon in the day. Maybe I'll start at the same time I started today. I don't know yet. I'm gonna do a post on my YouTube about it. Maybe I'm gonna talk about it in the Discord as well. Who knows? But yeah, as far as this stream is concerned, I'm gonna keep farming now. I have 8 cubes. I need to put 8 cubes into this and keep farming for Crystallis. But yeah, that was that. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and the stream is gonna end now. Yeah, thanks for watching. Shoutouts to my YouTube members, Chai Bean, Rip Van Winkle, and Simpletor. Become a member today. Oh wow. But yeah, bye. See you tomorrow, hopefully.